Recording. Hi, Montana.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. You are an activist, a musician, an artist. I don't know. You are many things.
Yes.
And now more. You are an activist now. So I want to start asking you about that. When did you decide that it has to be important to be an activist for what happened in Israel?
Well, I think in general, the word influencer, right,
Yes.
on social media has gotten all these different meanings. But if you are someone with influence and you are not using your influence or your platforms or your voice to stand up for what you believe in, what is the point of having that voice? What is the point of having that platform? And so for me, I'm the grandchild of Holocaust survivors.
Yes.
I am a very proud Jew. And what happened on October 7th was the deadliest day of Jews since the Holocaust. And I feel it is my duty, my responsibility as the grandchild of Holocaust survivors to make sure that I use my voice so that nothing like that were to ever happen again. And it was very, very important to me and will always be important to me to continue to stand up for Jews and for Israel.
But tell me something. Before 7th of October, you didn't talk too much about Holocaust.
Well, I actually
or
made
did
a
you do that?
Yeah, I made a Holocaust educational docuseries
Alright.
called How to Never Forget. If you haven't
have
seen
to
it,
see it.
you
I
gotta
haven't
look
seen
at
it.
it. Yes, so it's on
So
YouTube.
everybody has to see it.
Yes, please go watch it. You can find it on my Instagram or the full length is on my YouTube. And I actually went to Poland with my mother, and my grandmother is a survivor of Auschwitz. Both my grandparents are survivors
Wow.
of the Holocaust. And we went through the whole trip in Poland, and we ended the trip at Auschwitz and was there when saw where basically the spot my grandma last saw her mother get beaten up and dragged to the gas chambers, and it's very, very, very powerful. And so before October 7th, I was using my platforms to talk about the Holocaust, to combat anti-Semitism, but it was really after October 7th when I fully took over.
Tell me something. Before we will have to speak with your grandmother and your mother because we have a program that is called The Voice of the Silence that we do with Diario Judío that talks with survivors.
Wow.
We have been talking about with survivors for, I don't know, 3-4 years, every
Amazing.
week with another one, and bring them their stories alive.
Amazing.
So because it's important and and the most important thing, the two girls that are doing it, most of it, they are not Jewish.
Amazing, wow.
So that's more important,
That
and
is
they're
so
young.
important.
Because, when we talk about Holocaust, when you are Jewish, it's like, again, we still have it, but
Yeah.
and this is important. So we will do that
That'd
later.
be amazing, yes.
Today we are talking about you and that. Tell me something. You were very brave because you decided to wear a costume with the yellow ribbon. When somebody said you cannot do any shows about what happened on 7th October, you decided to go with this. What was the impression? What did you decide? How to say, I'm going to do it?
Well, before that, we had these little yellow pins going around the world,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I was a part of all these groups trying to get people to go to show up to the award shows to wear a simple yellow ribbon to show their support. Yes. And people were so scared to wear it, and no one wanted to wear it. And when I got offered to go to the Grammys, which is a huge deal as an artist, and all the biggest celebrities are there, I knew I had to do something bigger than just wear a yellow pin. And I contacted an Israeli designer in LA. We made this dress, and I never get nervous. Like, it takes a while for me to be nervous. But when I got to that red carpet and I had that dress and I stood there on the carpet and took my jacket off and did the big reveal, it was kind of a shocking moment. And I usually post behind the scenes photos of me getting ready for events, but I didn't do any of that. I didn't do that. And after I finished walking the carpet, one of the people that worked for the Grammys said, "Okay, did you get everything? Did you film everything and take your pictures?" Like trying to scurry me off the carpet. And I said no, and they said, "Well, the head called and they said they're really disappointed in your dress. That your dress is too political. We don't do politics here at the Grammys." And I said, "That's so interesting. This is actually not political at all." And she said, "All right, well, is it possible for you to remove the ribbon?" I said, "No, but even if it was possible, absolutely not." Anyway, long story short, I ended up going back out there. The head of the entire recording academy, Harvey Mason Jr., came up to me and said, "Thank you for wearing that dress. I love that dress. Let's take a photo." And then I sat down in my seat, didn't touch my phone at all. I opened my phone, and already the photo is everywhere, the videos are everywhere, and it was just, I couldn't believe it, And the best part about it, two things. the hostage families that I already built relationships with were writing me saying, thank you so much. We finally feel seen on a bigger scale, on a
It
outside
was
of
just
our
at the
echo
beginning
chamber.
of what happened.
Yeah,
It was
of
just
course.
happened.
It was February of 24.
Exactly.
So it was very shortly after. And little Jewish girls around the world were making costumes dressed like me for Purim,
Exactly.
which I couldn't believe. And now released hostages that I built relationships with said that they heard about me in captivity.
All right.
So it's from that dress. So it made a really big impact, and I'm really grateful that I feel like it inspired others to want to speak out more and to be more public with their opinions and views. And again, it's not political to call for the release of the hostages. It never was. And thankfully now we only have one more hostage body remaining.
But tell me something. You tell the good things. What happened with the dress? There were any attacks, any people saying, no, you tell me. They didn't want it because it was political. But there were people saying, you are too Israeli. Did it show any?
Oh yeah, I mean online I got out of all the love I got online, I also got a lot of hate online. People calling me, genocidal supporter, calling me a Nazi. The stares I got at the Grammys, of course, for wearing that. Still to this day, I get people like anti-Israel people repost that photo and have something to say about it. And it's important to talk about the negative because I get death threats every single day, and it's very intense, and especially online, especially from the entertainment community. But it also is important to talk about the positive of speaking up and following your intuition and following your heart. And I know that I'm standing for humanity, and I know that I will always stand for humanity, and that's all I want to do.
Wait for me 1 second. I'm just going to check the cameras.
Okay.
Good people. Take a breath. If you want some water. We're recording.
Good.
Right. You're looking incredible.
Yeah, I think.
But tell me something. You have hate in your social media and that. Many people will say, no, I won't do it again because they are going, maybe they are, the BDS, they are contracts. Today, it was a good decision in the Eurovision contest, saying Israel can participate, but it's hard. Many will say, I won't do it again, or I will take it, or no. How did you manage? How did you say, okay, I don't care. I have to speak out. I have to bring the voice.
I think the more hate I get, the more I know I need to speak out.
Right.
It's like the opposite effect for me. I think the more hate that I get, the more negativity, it shows me why I need to do this, why this is so crucial and so important, and that I must never stop. Especially on social media, on apps like TikTok, my videos get removed a lot, shadow banned a lot, and most would say, okay, I'm just not going to post that anymore. I'm going to go back to just doing my dance videos. But for me, it's really important that I keep sharing my message, and some of them, they cut through and make a difference. And again, really, I have so many people that have come up to me behind the scenes that are very big celebrities and have a lot of followers, and they say, thank you so much, Montana, for what you're doing. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, I can't deal with it. I can't do it. I can't risk my business. I can't lose followers. I can't do this. And for me, it's just, I think that by me following my heart and my soul and knowing that I'm doing the right thing, the opportunities that have come from, that are aligned with who I am and what I believe in, I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of people that I work with. But I've also gained.
You lost people that say, I don't want.
Of course. So many people.
They don't deserve you. They don't deserve you.
Thank you. But especially in the dance industry, a lot of people that I used to collaborate with said they won't collaborate with me anymore because of my support for Israel. But the new people that have entered my life, that align with who I am and align with my mission and my goals. I mean, look, I'm here with you in Mexico.
You're in Mexico.
How beautiful is that? And I've traveled all around the world in these past 2 years, meeting different people from different communities. And I've also collaborated with so many non-Jews too. I think it's so special to know about all of our allies that we have in this world too. I think it's so easy to say like everybody hates us, but we also have a lot of strong allies, and I'm very, very grateful for them. And I always try to highlight them on my social media as well.
We have the media, Diario Judío, and many people say you're not afraid that what they. And every time somebody posts something negative, or some insults or some stupid things, they came 20, 30 or more people not attacking, answering him, saying you are crazy, and you see the love. I'm sure that there is more love for Jewish people and for Israel than what we believe about it, and not only Jewish, because that's important. You are not getting only to the Jewish people.
I know, and that's why I think with my content, I always try to switch it up and try to reach different audiences and collaborate with different people, so we can really, I think unity and collaboration and allyship is so important. it has been important, but now more than ever, I think that is what we all need to really focus on and come together. I think everyone's so scared to have conversations. You know, it's such a hard time, and I think that we need to really focus on having real conversations, important conversations. I also try to encourage everyone that hasn't been to Israel, just go to Israel. Just see it for yourself. Sorry. See it for yourself. You know, there's so much propaganda and lies that have been told about Israel. I'm like, have you ever been? No. Okay, well, why don't you go and see for yourself?
You can take me with
Okay.
you
Have
wherever
you
you
been?
want. I was there during the Iran's war.
Wow.
I was there, exactly
Wow.
there, with a group of newspapers from Mexico and with a lot of them. And they, when they saw the first missile and they have to go to the
Shelter.
shelter, it was like, now we understand.
Yeah.
Because everything was, nothing happened here, but it was incredible to be there, to see. It was impacting for me because we were, I don't know, 20 blocks away from where in Tel Aviv fall a missile.
Yeah.
And we went there the next day. And you saw people, here they were the buildings down, and besides, it was a coffee shop. And there were people sitting there
Yeah.
drinking coffee, and here it was a bomb, and you say,
That's Israel, though. That's like
you cannot. And I have a video that we took, you can see it in our
Yeah.
post, that it was there, the machines were there, the military was there, people taking out their thing from their house, and a lady in one of the buildings is hanging their clothes because she has to wash it, because with all this explosion, it got dirty, so she has to wash it and hang it up. When it was, that's Israel.
Yeah.
That's Israel.
Yeah.
But that's the Jewish people, not only that.
Yeah.
And you were not disappointed with, I don't know, artists, people, or other people that say, no, I prefer not, because you were talking about it, I prefer not to say it. Or what can you say to people who say, I prefer not to talk about Israel because I'm scared, or they will attack me, or let's keep our social media closed because we don't want nobody to relate us with Israel or with the Jewish people.
Sorry.
Okay.
Nah, thank you.
I love you.
I think that, you know, it's unfortunately more popular to be against Israel right now. That's
Yes.
just reality. People, I think a lot of them aren't actually against us. They just know it's popular. Like, you look at all these like random artists from around the world going on stage saying, you know, free Palestine, and then all of a sudden an article is written up about them, and all of a sudden they go viral. And so it's like, I think people are doing a lot of these things now just for the like dramatic effect of it, to get written up about, to get talked about. Unfortunately, I think a lot of them are being funded by other groups of people to be anti-Israel. I think that's like, there's been a lot of research that has come out about that. And again, I think that
It's a trending thing to be against.
It's just trending.
It's just trending. We
It's
have
just
in
trending.
Mexico deputies, and we have other people that say, and we have also artists that say, free Palestine. And you know Palestine? Oh,
No, they don't know anything.
It's
They don't know
just
much
because
river,
it
much
was.
sea. They don't know anything. They just know it's popular. And so, for me, that's why I will always keep using my art really to tell the story of Israel, tell the story of the Jewish people, to stand what before was to stand with the hostages, to talk about the Holocaust. I always try to think of creative ideas to reach different audiences and different demographics. And you know, before October 7th, my following was like predominantly the younger generation, Gen
Yes.
Z. And now it's so special because I feel like parents are watching my content with their kids and they're sharing it and talking about it with each other. And that's all I could ever wish for.
But what happened with the people who says, I don't want to publish, I'm scared, I don't want people to relate me with Israel? Because it happens, or close your social media, or keep it closed for everybody.
Listen, I
Because
never will.
do
I
we have
never
to,
will.
to be open, to show what is happening to other people?
I never will. I think for me, it doesn't matter what I lose from it. I think this is, again, I think if you have a voice and you have a platform and you have influence, and if you're not standing for your truth, I think that's really sad that you have to be scared to stand for what you believe in. And I truly believe in this, and I know I believe in, again, humanity, uniting people. And I don't just, on my social media, by the way, just talk about the Jewish people and just speak about what's going on in Israel. I talk about women like freedom movement in Iran, with the women, how they're treated in Iran. I interviewed a woman from Syria who was kidnapped by Hezbollah. I really use my platforms for other things, not just for the Jews and for the Israeli people, and I always will. And wait, after this war is over fully and we move on to the next thing, I will always continue to talk about combating anti-Semitism, all forms of hate, bringing everybody together. My dream is to travel the world and unite communities. Like, that's really my dream.
You said something important. Reunite communities, unity, and everything. Before 7th of October, it was a break between two factions in Israel, and also with Israel and the Jews outside Israel. After October 7th, something changed. But now there has been 2 years. It looks like it's ending. It's not ending. We still have one body to recover.
Yeah.
How do you see this reunion? How does it have to work? Israel, the Jewish communities.
Well, for me personally, because I've traveled to so many different Jewish communities over these past 2 years, I feel Jews have never been stronger and more united. I think that I'm so grateful, like every time I come to a new community, to see the passion and love for Israel and for this mission that I feel like all of us have. It's been really inspiring to me. And as I'm about to head back to Israel for my 8th time in a few days. And I know
You need somebody to carry your bags. I
Yeah.
can go. Or take photos. Just tell me. I can go.
Okay, done. Mom, you hear that?
Yeah. I can go there, eh?
He's coming.
Your mother is incredible. We already talked. She's there. That we have to interview you and your grandmother.
And my grandma unfortunately has Alzheimer's of 16 years, so she doesn't really speak now.
All right. But we can talk with you about your mother, about Holocaust and everything. So be prepared. One of these days. So.
And so I can now go back to Israel and say I just came from Mexico City and they love Israel and they're standing with you,
And you are going back to Israel, but we have to talk something very important. You made a documentary, Children of October 7.
Yes.
Now that everything is like finishing, like we're talking about other things, we're again talking about politics, if Netanyahu, if not Netanyahu, if there's, do you think people are forgetting what happened with these kids? You were with them. It's like, all right, it happens, they will be okay, it's okay. How do you see these kids? Because you interview many of them, you talk with them, you have incredible experience with them. How do you see them? What do we have to do with them?
I think that's why this documentary is so important, because this documentary has absolutely nothing to do with politics.
Yes.
And it's really, like, I happen to be the one asking questions, but it's really about the children, not about me. It's about what they went through, what they authentically went through, their real testimonies from that day and after. And it's absolutely heartbreaking, but inspiring. And you see the resilience in these kids, but you also see that their childhood was ripped from them. And we all we owe it to them to hear their testimonies, to share them, to make sure everyone we know hears them and sees them. It's only a 36-minute documentary. It's not that long.
Incredible.
And it's so important. And when I filmed the documentary, I promised the kids I'm going to do everything I can to get everybody to see this. And when we filmed the documentary, initially the production company wanted me to just post it on my social media. They asked if I wanted any money for it. I said, absolutely not. I don't want anything. But then they thought I was just going to post it on my social media. And I said, no, this needs to get to a bigger audience. And I fought really hard, and we got it to Paramount Plus, which I'm so grateful for.
Paramount.
And when Paramount Plus, they buy the documentary. So all the proceeds that I received from Paramount went directly to the children and the kids and their families. And that was really important to me. And so again, I think you look at the Shoah Foundation, right?
Yes.
The testimonies from Holocaust survivors.
That
footage is going to be, exactly.
We worked with them with that.
And it's amazing. And my grandparents, their testimonies are in there.
All right.
And it's important that those are going to be seen for the rest of time. Now, the Children of October 7th is testimonies from these children, October 7th survivors, that is going to be seen for the rest of time. And God willing, as many people in the world see it. And don't forget what happened. And, we think about the slogans, never forget, never again. It applies to this as well.
What has been the reactions after the documentary? What did people have said to you?
Honestly,
we know people who know about Israel say, no, it's incredible. We know, but I care about non-Jews.
It's made a big impact. It's made a big impact. And when we first posted, when Paramount first got it, it was just supposed to be for the U.S. because there were people all around the world were asking for it.
Yes.
They ended up making it global to all of Paramount. And it's made a huge impact, especially on the non-Jewish community.
Any comments?
I think that people are seeing that, again, this is not political. They're hearing directly from children. I think people relate to children in a different way. We all were children once, or we have children, or we have that inner child inside of us, and you know that this could happen to any of us or any of our family members, and you see it from a whole different light. So I just hope and pray that as many people keep seeing it, and it keeps making an impact.
Tell me a little bit about some experience you have with the kids or with somebody telling you about the documentary that impressed you. Because it's okay, would you get to any press conference, and they ask you things and that, Is there something that you remember that happened with the documentary or that impact you about that?
From filming it?
No, from after presenting it, from somebody asking you or something, some reaction or something saying that.
Yes, I actually got a message from, I think she was from Germany, a lady that saw it and said that she was very, very skeptical about what happened on that day, and especially what she hears in her community and from what she sees on social media. And she actually posted it on her story of her crying from seeing the documentary, saying this documentary affected her in a way that she never would have experienced, never would have imagined. And it really changed her mind on everything. And she was encouraging her followers, and she wasn't Jewish, she was actually anti-Israel, to go see it.
That's
So,
a good thing.
Yeah.
And from the children, are you still in contact with them?
Oh yeah, all the children. We actually, for the premiere, the premieres that we had in LA and New York, we actually brought one of the girls, Ellie Dunn, to LA and New York, and she's like a little sister to me, and I still speak to all the kids. I mean, they're all so amazing. One of the girls, Ella, she travels all over talking about the documentary. She's an amazing speaker, and they're all so passionate about
All right,
it.
you don't have to come to Mexico, bring her to
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah, exactly. She's amazing, and Ella, Eitan and Yael, I just saw them in Miami, so I love them all. Yes.
And tell me, that was not the only thing you did. You also started a movement about We Will Dance Again.
Yes.
Dancing. Tell us a little bit about that, because we know about Noah. But tell us a little bit, because your video was also shared, I don't know, any kind of
Yes,
million
a
of
lot,
times.
a lot. Yeah, so the saying "We will dance again." Actually, Mia Shem, one of the released hostages, kind of made that saying and got that tattooed, and that saying really stuck with me, obviously as a dancer. And so instead of "We will dance again," I decided to say "We can dance again."
Yes.
Like we are dancing again.
Yes.
And I contacted an Israeli dance company that lost 3 of their members at Nova. And they made this beautiful, beautiful tribute dance for Nova, and I asked if they wanted to do it with me. We did it at the Nova site with Nova survivors and a released hostage and Nova survivor, Moran Stelly and I. And I knew that video would reach a different audience, would reach the dance community, would reach the art community. You watch the video thinking you're watching a music video, and halfway through you're hit with the reality of what happened at Nova. And if you read through the comments, you'll see people in the comments saying, I go to Coachella all the time, like I go to Ultra, I go to all these music festivals, that could have been me. And they said, I never saw it this way. Like, wow, I didn't even know this happened. Thank you. So it's important. It's really important to keep posting.
I will tell you something that maybe you don't know, but I talked with some people in Israel when I was there. One of them was a parent of some of the girls that was at Nova, put there, danced with you in that.
Oh, really?
Right. I didn't talk with the girl or that, but the father told me, you don't know what that video changed her life, because she was like, feeling bad. I was survived. Many of the survivors of that Nova feel that we did survive.
Yeah.
Many
It's
have
like survivor's guilt.
took
Yeah.
their lives off.
Yeah.
And she was a little depressed. And after dancing with you
Wow.
and saying, I want to dance, I want showing that we can dance again,
Wow.
she changed it. That's what her father told me.
Wow.
Because it was
Hear
like,
that, Mom?
it was,
This is a beautiful.
don't ask me their name, because we were,
Wow.
it was just like finding it in some place we said and said, yes, we were there, and dance, and Nova, and that, and came, my daughter danced with Montana Tucker, and it was incredible.
Wow.
And it came the I didn't record because it was just
No,
like
of course,
talking,
of
but it
course.
was very interesting, because
Wow,
you
that
didn't
is so
only,
special.
not
Thank you.
only impact people outside, you impacted also people that were in Nova, and many other ones.
Wow.
Because it was really a show that we are still here. You talk about Holocaust and that. I took one of the interviews we did with survivor. He decided he was going to Israel, and he didn't see that her plane was stopping in Germany, or in Poland, or in Germany. And he took there, and he said, do we change the trip? Do you want? He said, no, I want to go there, back, and say, we are still here, and you are not there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was for him like a show to say, we are still here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's something you did also, dancing again there.
Yeah.
It's like showing the world that they cannot stop us.
Yeah.
And I say us because it's under a whole world. What would you say to the first, to non-Jewish young people, what to do to go to talk about the truth about what happened in Israel, and like you said, other causes, because people say it's what is the in trend, but nobody talks about Sudan, Nobody talks about Syria, what's happened in Iran, and in other countries, also Mexico or other countries. Have to involve the people because it's very easy when it's trying to say from this river to this sea, that nobody understands that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't do anything. What do we have to do to provoke that young generation
I
get
think
it in these causes?
I think the young generation, as again, I keep saying this, but to encourage as many people to visit Israel. I think all these misconceptions and these lies and this propaganda that has come out of there, none of these people have actually been there to be able to see it for themselves. So first and foremost, I would try to encourage as many people as we can to go to Israel. I think the young Jewish community needs to be strong and be proud. You know, I'm going to say this tonight, that, you know, our ancestors survived.
Yes.
We owe it to them. We owe it to our grandparents, to our ancestors, to now be loud and proud Jews. You know, we don't have to hide. We have to be proud.
That's
I think after October 7th, I've never been more proud. I make sure at all times you know that I'm Jewish. At all times, there's never a question of who I am and what I represent. But I always lead with kindness. I always lead with love. I'll never stoop to their level of being hateful, of being negative, of yelling, of being crazy, mean. I'll never do that. I always just keep leading with love and kindness and keep just being proud of who I am.
I was going to finish, but you put something on the table that is important. When you're in a meeting, in a reunion, you are with a lot of artists, dancers, I don't know, all the music. What do you do when somebody stands up or says, because that's important for young generation also, and for everybody that are in universities and that, and say, free Palestine, or you use genocide. They told me also when I was organizing a seminar about Holocaust, I don't care. But what do people say? What to do? How to answer? Do we have to answer? Do we have to keep quiet? What happens when you're in a reunion and somebody starts to talk about Israel, Palestine, Jews, criticizing or something?
I think it's important to be educated. It's important to be able to, of course, stand up for yourself, but not in a violent way, in a productive conversation way. I think people are so scared to have conversations with people who have different views than them because it seems so scary. But if someone is willing to have a conversation, try having a conversation. You'd be shocked. When I do these videos that I film in public all the time, where I'll like hold up signs and I'll be like collaborating with somebody, and I always get people just saying hateful things to me. And I said, do you want to talk? Like, let's talk. And you'd be shocked. Some people are just so ignorant, they won't even hear what I have to say. But some actually want to hear. And by the end of that conversation, we end up like hugging each other and saying, you know what, I hear you. So you'd be shocked. I just think a lot of people are scared to have the conversations, but it's important to have the information to back up, like of what you're saying.
And to hear the other part
and
also.
Just to hear it. Don't be so aggressive. Don't stoop to the level of being aggressive and yelling and crazy. That's never going to work. Two people yelling at each other.
Did you were afraid sometimes in some something? Did you were afraid in a moment, or it was something that bothered you in a moment happened in these 2 years? And that?
Never. My mom is the one that's scared. I'm not.
She's never scared?
Who, Montana?
Yes.
Never.
That's incredible.
I'm never scared. I think it just, again, like I said, the more hate and negativity that it comes with, the more it wants me to keep going. It pushes me to keep going.
That's incredible. Just to finish, you are going to be here with Karen Cayemet, with Mexico, with young people, with FEMEG. What will it be your message, or what do you think is the most important thing you want them to remember about you? Because you know, you are going to talk there about 20 to 30 minutes, an hour, they will see the documental, you will have questions and answers. But what do you want them to keep about your visit here in Mexico and visit?
I think to know that we're all united. I think it sometimes feels like, I'm sure a lot of people in Mexico maybe feel alone. I feel like I've been speaking to a lot of the Jewish community here, and I know your Jewish community here is very strong and very tight but small. But like, you guys are really strong, and you guys kind of feel like it's just you guys against the world. And I hope people know that we're all in this together. We're all united. I'm right here with you from Florida to Los Angeles to Israel. Every time I'm traveling, that we're all one big family and we're all in this together. And you know, everyone's always thanking me so much for what I do, but thank you all. Thank all of you here in Mexico, at Mexico City, for doing everything that you guys are doing every single day, for Israel, for the Jewish people. We're all doing our part. We're all doing our part. Mine is to be on social media and do everything that I'm doing and speak. But all of you guys, by showing up to events like this, by being proud, by simply wearing your Magenta beads,
like your ring.
Yes.
Your ring is incredible.
Yeah, thank
your
you.
Ring
I
is incredible.
want to make sure people always see it. So just keeping proud of
show it. People show it. Like the power of it.
Yes, but keeping proud of who you are. Just know that we're all in this together, and I'm so proud of you all, and I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Is there something that you want to say that you couldn't say in any opportunity that you said, next time, I hope somebody asks me about it, I want to say about it. Is there something you
I feel like
keep there and say, I need to say this?
I feel like I'm always so outspoken, so I feel like there's never something I've like held back, or I feel like always when I do these interviews, I feel like people ask such good personal questions. So I feel like I kind of laid it all on the table. I don't think there's anything I haven't said.
I'm not going to ask you about Mexico because I know you have been very good and you are only going to be one day. You have to come more days.
I know. I'll come back soon.
Montana,
Thank
it's
you.
a pleasure.
Thank
We are
you so
we are
much.
not putting in a broken bag about your grandmother and your mother.
Yes.
I think it's important to remember about Holocaust.
Absolutely.
People say when we talk about Holocaust, and it was like that, say we are always complaining about what happened on Holocaust, what happened on October 7th. Do we have to still talking about, because they said you're only complaining. It's important to say it, or we do have to say it and how to say it, because you're talking about it and you just
I don't think it's complaining. I think it's you're talking about history. You're talking about something that happened. I don't think it's necessarily complaining. I think it's important that we let the world know everything that happened, but also from the history of time, from the second Jews came onto this earth, people have always been trying to destroy us. Every few decades, there's always something that people are trying to destroy us, but we always come out on the other end stronger, more resilient, more united. And so I know that is what that has already happened and will continue to happen after this time. And we will move forward, we will persevere, and we will, again, always lead with kindness and love and show what being a Jew really means.
Sorry for that. Can you tell us just a little bit about your grandmother? Because I don't know, it's like you got everything from scary.
Oh yeah, both my grandparents.
Tell us a little bit from your both of your parents. Tell us a little bit about them, how they impact you, or what was their story? Because it seems like they got a good impact on you.
It's a really long story. I feel like it'd be too
Right,
long,
we
but just
day.
briefly, like they're Holocaust survivors. Both of them came to the United States with nothing, experienced the unimaginable. I share a lot of their testimonies, like certain parts of it on my social media. And so everything I do is for them and for, again, my ancestors. And they taught me everything: to never give up, to be strong, to be proud of who I am. And my Zadie passed away. My grandpa passed away 6 years ago at 97. My grandma's still alive.
Your Zadie,
yes,
and your Bobby.
Yes, and she's still alive, but unfortunately has Alzheimer's of 16 years. But they would speak at all the schools down in Florida. Right. They did the Show Foundation. They wanted people to.
What's their name?
Lily and Michael Schmidmeyer.
I think maybe I hear about it.
Yes, and they're amazing, and they were amazing, and everything I do, it was passed on. What they taught my mom was passed on to me, and everything. I mean, the stories that I heard from them, and again, that's why I will always speak out about the Holocaust, make sure people never forget that and never forget October 7th.
We will be more in touch with that.
Absolutely.
And incredible what they teach you and what you learn and how you are still giving, because in some years we won't have survivors, we will have people like you and young generation talking about that.
In a few years there are going to be no more survivors, so it's very, very important that we keep their legacy alive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was incredible to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay, nice to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yes. Mwah.
Thank you. Let me put that.
Hopefully next time in Israel.
Take me with you, no problem.
Okay, come on. Thank you so much. Are you going to stay for the program?